And the next topic is that we have is 4 M's for multiplying your business as a financial advisor, wherein we have Mr. Anuraag Saboo, co-founder, Fundexpert Fintech. Although, there are platforms, but still this is the business of empathy, and we are talking about since morning again relationship management skills, which are important for this business. So let's accept that technology is an opportunity. In the same line, he will be speaking on 4 M's for multiplying your business. I'm inviting Mr. Anuraag on the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this presentation. I'm sure post-lunch is also not an easy time to keep focusing because you tend to lapse, but I hope I'll make this all the worth your while to listen to these 4 M's. So what is the M stands for, which I'm presenting here today? So, the M stands for? A lot of people say money, money, everywhere. No, yes, the 4 M's stand for mantras. So clap for the gentleman. I'm sure he did a great job. So that's what, these are the mantras, because for multiplying your business, you need mantras to do. Now, I'll be very frank. I'm telling, just disclaimer, this is not my personal mantras. These are mantras told to me personally by advisors who use up our platform. So let me give you a brief introduction. So, and just to tell you, I'll give you a few glimpses. What are these mantras? So first mantra is multi-track, second mantra is multi-asset, third mantra is multi-service, and fourth mantra, I'll keep it toward the end. It's a secret mantra, I will come into it. So I'll just tell you, I'll give you brief background myself. So I'm Anuraag Saboo, I'm a co-founder of Fundexpert. I graduated from IIT Madras, got gold medal, the photograph will be there. So just little younger there, little older now. And then MBA and all that, and then basically got involved into a lot of finance. These are my personal qualification across different domains. Virtually any Indian and national done all that to get into something which is a like today hot topic, which is the finance and technology. Just now you heard of technology. So basically it's a fintech thing, which I'm part of. So let me tell you, we have, when we did all this technology and finance and all that, we came across certain things. One of the things we came across, I personally came, was the growth of financial sector was immense, was happening immense. It was growing like anything. Huge growth is happening and is likely to happen, because this is one sector which you can take home as an investing mantra that is going to do very well in the time to come, because it has both two important things of life. One is tech, everybody has a smartphone, everybody's tech, and finance. So, but and we are still underpenetrated. This is a recent article, not so recent, and back, we are still at, even all the big growth, we are still at very low percentage if you compare to global. It's almost a 5 times difference we have, even in general as average, and if you take the top ones, we are at 10 times difference. That means next 10 years also one sector will stand out, will be this. Now should we all happy we are being part of this sector, either as a distributor or as a provider or a service receiver or a service. So and that's why we are here celebrating that kind of also together. But at the same time, there is a challenge. There is a situation in the industry. The challenge here is that India is starved. Although we say so much, we do so much programs. AMFI recently and NAC, they are all coming out programs to build 100,000 next advisors and all that. You know why? Because they're still very starved. So there is a recent data I've taken from Yahoo and AMFI and compared. The penetration level in India is still very, very low. If you look at the penetration level abroad, we are less than 1/20th level of the countries. So the point is, we still, that's why we say advisor, distributor, jaruri hai kind of campaign, because it is a need if you want to make newer and newer things happening. And newer and newer financial products are coming around. Today itself, you heard about products, platforms, which are new things like, investing or of different kind. So what we came out with, we thought that the solution should be built. So despite all this, there is a lack of distribution, but then there is also a problem. The existing distribution themselves are not feel happy. You go to the seminars, privately you talk regulation, SEBI is very kind of buzzword. You feel that, always regulator is after us and things like that. And there is always, the intermediary always feels threatened in our situation. And they are facing a lot of threats. But you still go to people and talk to them, or such webinars and seminars, and what are the top 5 things I need to do? I'll tell you 2 of the top 5 things is become one-stop shop. Try to scale, widen your offerings, become that. That will be second. Second, they will say is invest in technology, scale your thing. Now, these are easier things said then done. Because how do you do? Most of the people, or you see the financial intermediate advisory business is done by one or two people kind of business. How do you do so many things and so many things into a single thing? Then technology becomes a challenge. Then scaling up becomes a challenge. All this becomes a challenge. So that's why we thought, and developing these solutions are not an easy thing. So that's why we built a solution Fundexpert, and that's why I met those advisors who told those mantras, who started using them to tell me, and that's what I'm here to share. So just to brief about Fundexpert, that we are helping financial professionals to grow better through our affordable platform. And this platform gives three aspects of it, which I will show you how these guys use in their mantras to scale up. One was this gave them a digital identity. This gave a place to automate their entire things, whatever they were offering, all the different things, reporting, their thing. And then it gave them opportunity to scale up because of the complete range of financial products and services which were built into a single platform. So that's how this was there. So what we did something different, which these advisors used. One thing we did was integrated virtually all financial platforms. So all financial backend platforms which today use NSE, BSE and MFU, they are part of this. Second, it integrated multiple asset types into this. So virtually you can transact across multiple asset types into a single platform. And third, it integrated was multiple financial services into a platform. Now these became core mantras. Later you will see how it happened, and then I'll give you each specifications, what they exactly did, how they did. And most unique thing about our platform is we are the only, one of the, or probably the only unique platform which is a regulated, part of a regulated entity, because our platform is backed by Kotak. So we are the only one, and this that makes it very simple, because one of the things which you will come across people's mind is, what about my data, what about my customers' interaction, what will happen? So we have put very clear thing, because we are not a startup. We are a very strong established entity backed by thing. And in fact, in our agreement, we put this clause very clearly that Fundexpert or Kotak Securities, basically, by virtue of this agreement, there is no data, all clients remain your clients and does not solicit the clients or anything. So it's a very clear-cut independent division which continually works. So it's a very unique position we are. We build solutions like startup, and we deliver you like a corporate structure through that. And that's why we are very uniquely positioned, and that's why today, we are happy to announce that more than 2,500 across distributors use our solution to provide the services and build their own digital identity. These are hundreds of digital identity you are seeing on the screen of all these distributor entities across India. From each corner, they are present today to deliver these unique products and services to their customers, building their own identity and all their own aspirations, their own logo, their own theme. This goes as their platform, to their clients. So we build that, and that's how they have rewarded us. They have made us the highest rated platform in India. And thanks to all this, whatever we achieved, today we became the India's #1 platform. We won an award this year, best multi-asset financial advisory distributor platform for India. So all this happened, but today I have come to the topic which I present today. The topic was about what are the mantras these guys did, which made them appreciate our platform so much. And I'm glad to happy, one of our advisors was here. Just he liked it so much, he came out, he said, let's have a selfie, and it's a great moment for us to do that for him. So that shows that kind of, interest and things they find in the platform and the mantras. So these are their mantras, so credit is to them. But they have told me personally, so I'm telling you today. So they do some things different, and they have scaled their business. And in the times they have scaled is also a different time. Financial distribution advisory all has been so much a relationship driven, which has been physical. You go and meet a client, explain him. That's how the world has seen financial advisory. Last 2-3 years of COVID, when you had that physical distance built in, these guys used this platform to turn this around and did it in a different way, and still multiplied a business where other businesses were going for a toss. They multiplied their business in that period like anything. And this is a real fact and real thing that happened, and these are those mantras from there. The first thing they did was they used our platform to multi-track. Most of the advisors are currently use single track. They just track what they have been told orally or something, or whatever the client have invested through them. So they had actually, if you look at a client angle, he is interested to know everything about himself, not just whatever he is invested to you. So they changed it differently through this platform. So what happened, and the way they canvassed or did their customer prospecting when they go and visit, they change their entire pattern altogether. Earlier, they used to go meet him physically, take all the data, and say, come back, I'll make a proposal for you, I'll give you a full detail, and then come back. And so it used to be a process driven, which used to happen over multiple days. They changed it totally differently. Now, from a physical became a Zoom. So there is a Zoom thing, client is open, you're talking to client on one screen, and then they open the software on the other screen. Or if they did physically later on, then they carried the app or the, in their pocket and did the same thing. So I'm just telling you both the scenarios when they did. Most of the things they started doing on Zoom and things like that. Client also became savvy and started coming Zoom. So client is talking, because I've seen this also happening with one of the, that's why I'm telling. Client is talking and they're taking details. On the other screen they have opened, or if they're physically meeting, then the app is opened. And then they started filling the data. So while the call is going on, they took all the data. By the time the client has told the standard description, his account is already created in the customer account. All the data with everything, KYC validation done, all this is over. So within 2 minutes, the entire thing is done and the client's account is open. Then they go to the next thing. They said, okay, so let me enter your thing, and there is a button on the right. You can see they have filled this in 2 minutes, submitted it. Automatically a UCC is created in BSC star at the same time. Client is onboarded, is ready to transact. KYC is validated. If KYC is not validated, then the video KYC steps start. If KYC is validated, then which is most of the clients were already invested. If client is already done, they go to the next screen and they say, okay, now I'll request your file. And then they'll click on the button, because I've hidden the email ID and all that. They'll submit it. A consolidated portfolio statement will go to the client within 3 minutes on the client mail. They will ask, you have got the mail, just forward it back to me. Client will forward. They will upload the document, because below you can see upload. The moment they did that, they had the entire 360-degree view of the client portfolio that time itself. No waiting time, no going back, no doing. And instantly, with all different ratings of each fund, performance, details, everything is available instantly. The moment what happens, that happened was you could immediately tell you invested so much from this date to this day. You have been investing, because you can see timeline view, you can see different views. And then you would have generated a statement out of that, and then you would have immediately told you the performance of these funds and all that. The moment he did all that and give the performance details, client was immediately surprised. He's saying, oh wow, I got all the information, and now I am like kind of, he was able to immediately interact, and he was able to immediately convince the client that these are the things you could do. And then immediately other things started. He would then immediately switch order, or place a mandate, or do redemption, or switch a fund, or create something, ask for more family details, give him a more complete portfolio details. So immediately relationship went another level altogether. And that's why your multi-track became such a hit that, for example, this IFA multiplied his AUM 4 times in 6 months using this mantra. And that's why this was the biggest success story, why the Fundexpert app was the biggest hit, because this he was able to do. The second was the multi-asset. The multi-asset, what happened when the client went and talked, they were only talking about mutual funds. But when they went and talked about, Fundexpert, because we have multiple assets integrated, they could immediately switch into another asset, because the client was not so much keen on one particular asset. He said, I may not, but he said, okay, yeah, there is something which is missing in my portfolio, or something which maybe I need an insurance. So what he would do in the platform itself, he would click and then collect the insurance details, or generate a policy, or generate a potential prospect for him. So immediately switch to another asset which is of interest of the client. So what happened was, because of that, the client felt like he's being serviced rather than being pushed to buy some products. So they moved from pushing a particular sector of product, they became a multi-asset client. So by offering all the different asset classes which could potentially interest him. The third, and that's why, for example, this was investment. So they were only focusing on one asset, but the moment they did, the client perception changes, because once you start dealing with multiple assets, he does not think you one distributor. Now he's thinks of you like a client, like a finance professional. So that is a very much difference of attitude. The third aim was multi-service. So what happened was, most of them you go and you only offer products for investments and all that, then clients also feel little push. How about offering him some services? And when you do that, it actually serves a lead. And there is one missing service which you will find in 90% of your client portfolio. What do you think is one thing, very important thing which your clients are not doing, which you might have told at some point? Yeah, correct, succession planning, will, you're right. So that was the thing, that's what it's integrated platform. But most of us still don't offer, because it's not an easy task to do. And plus it's a legal headache, and it's not our kind, we are advisors, distributors. But here it is integrated into platform. A very easy, simple tool, within 5 minutes a client could make. And we have seen this used. There is a story which when my RM told me, that in night, one IFA called him and told him, I have to make a will right now at 8 o'clock. Because the client told him tomorrow is going for an operation. I said, oh, it's a heart operation thing. He said, it's a tooth operation. But the client said, once I go through ICU, do you guarantee I'll come back? So he says, I will do a will right now. I don't want to take risk for even the small operations. So in the night, that RM sat with him, got with the IFA, with the client, got the will made, because the process is a 5-minute process. But when you suddenly ask and you are not gone through the 3 minutes video, you get a little confused. So he held and made a video, and the client went happily next day that my will is there online. So he could create a will within minutes into a platform. Obviously, there are other services. One such very interesting service which is nowadays getting popular is the managed portfolios, like small equity portfolios and all that, which is like small case, which is also integrated in platform. Because client is nowadays hearing and exploring a lot of alternate avenues, and if you don't offer them onto platform, you will find that you are missing out. So they have lots of things. We have income tax and so many filing, which are very crucial services, which normally we don't offer. These are other legal services. But once you start offering, it will make a dramatic difference to the way your customer experiences you. You try to do this once customer, and you will see the amount of difference it will make. And that's why these guys have written so much that this multi-asset, multi-service approach, which they have moved to, has made a lot of difference. And now comes the final M. Most of us are busy focusing on large cities, A cities and all the part of India. But actually, a lot of India is in tier 2 and tier 3. Obviously, and if you start penetrating to them and talking to them, there will be a lot of difference the way they interact. So those guys, I have seen, a lot of people have come and they have started interacting, and that's why they use our multilingual platform, which is integrated into that, and which is now integrated in a part. They started building multilingual aspects on the platform. So we have come across, for example, I'll show you. You see the same, it's a similar kind of thing, but it's written in Marathi. Now it's focused because I was very clear. I need a page to attract for the same platform into a language which is my investors will read. And my investors are not these A-town. My investors sits in these small B-towns. They are farmers, they are this. So they started building. Now you see they are written, I have made the same thing, but we have created this for him. We started making it in the language in which India speaks. He says, my investor will read this. He'll watch a Marathi video. He'll watch everything. So everything, even your SIP calculator also he wanted in Marathi. So he said, because he will read this. So we built this entire thing. You can see in the language. And this was the first time we came. And he was very clear. And he's doing pretty well in interior areas. And this. So these are the things which he did. And this is final mantra which we have followed at Fundexpert, which I just want to share. Our final mantra is Dil Mange More. Our advisors always ask us more. If we build so much, they will come back and say, this year what you are building for us now. We need more because they've got used to that, and we also commit to that. So we are building more for them. Now we are building things like more products, more interesting products, interesting insurance products which they don't get anywhere else. Savings accounts, zero balance because they all live in small town India where they don't want to keep any balance requirement. Then home loans, because they think these are the new things which are demand coming from loan, they want to cover that, and all kinds of loans. So once we started with home loans, today in 15 days, we'll be offering 7 different types of loans on Fundexpert platform, which advisors can offer, because they said, we want to catch the young India early. Younger India takes EMI first and invests later. So they wanted to offer all kinds of loans because they will be potential audience in 10 years time for wealth investment. So liability products. So we are building all this journey into the platform and credit cards and things because they want to cater to the new generation India. New generation India will first borrow and invest later. So they want to build all kinds. So we are building all this into a single platform. That's what you're going to see in time to come. So these are the mantras that, when you can get into other category of products which will reinforce your main category of the work which you do. So these are the mantras which we have found. If you want to interact more, because I have already got warning, so time is up. These are our contact details. Our booth is here. Please, welcome to call and come us and meet us. We are happy to interact with us. We have office in Bombay, Bangalore, and virtually through Kotak, we have presence all over India, so you are free to approach us wherever you are. And I'm open to questions. Thank you for listening patiently. No. Insurance is of any other platform. Yeah, you can sell. It's the customer choice. Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. Then I just finish.
Sir, in practical life, whether fund manager apply full-blown active, passive or hybrid strategy?
In real life, fund manager.
Yeah, fund manager, mutual fund manager. Hybrid strategy, full-blown active or passive strategy?
Sir, actually, I'm not from fund management industry, so this question is not applicable.
Okay, okay, not an issue.
ठीक है, thank you so much.